Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, we'll be taking a look at the Soulforge and telling you what I think is good and bad in there. And also be taking a look at this weekly event troop, the Draugr Knight, or Draugr, whatever you prefer. Right, trying a new mic today. Hopefully it's better than the last one. I thought the other one was okay for a while, but then upon playing certain things back, it seemed to be a bit muffly sometimes. And certainly compared to this one, it certainly does seem muffly, so hopefully this is a improvement. Right, so Mr. Draugr Knight, let's see what you got. Submerge myself and deathmark 2 random enemies. Submerge yourself is good against damage to all troops, apart from if you're up against a Captain McCaw team. In that case, it will just kill you outright. But there's lots of different ways to get deathmark in the team now, so in the game. So not that great. Nothing too special about the traits either. So just a fairly mediocre, not going to use it very much unless you're a really new player. 4 out of 10 for you, Mr. Draugr Knight. Anyway, what does garlic do when it gets hot? It takes its clothes off. Alright, anyway, we'll get this to mythic level if you can. If you've got enough glory, always worth doing. Always good to have troops at the highest level. So we'll get it there anyway, because that can help your kingdom progression at the same time. Right, let's pop back then into the Soulforge and see what's going on in there. Let's take a look at the weapons first. Not going to go over all the ones that are here all the time. They're in my Soulforge extra video. I'll put a link to that in the description below. But first up is the Sharp Reef. Much better than a Blunt Reef. But anyway, it is the weapon that's in Journey, so no need to actually buy it from here. Save your diamonds. 200 diamonds if you do it from here, as well as those other resources. Better off getting it from the Journey event shop if you're going to want to buy those tiers anyway, I would presume. Anyway, it deals magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by blue allies and undead allies. So a single target with a boost. So have to see if it's any good for the Journey event, but I think the typical doomed weapon will be best for that. So all these are in the Soulforge extra video. Next up we have a Nature Staff. Does magic plus 4 damage to an enemy and deal double damage if there's a leaf storm. Then create a leaf storm. So if you can hit twice quickly with this, you're guaranteed to get the double damage because you'll have the leaf storm going. And the good thing about this weapon is it has tangling and enchanting as the upgrades. That's 2 really nice upgrades for such a basic weapon. Tangling, it means you're going to entangle that top troop and they can't hit you with skulls. You'll be taking no damage. And enchanting means it enchants itself, getting 2 mana per turn, which combined with that leaf storm and the fact this uses green means it's ready to go again really fast. So yeah, not a bad little weapon is Nature Staff. Iron Wave. Does magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by merfolk allies, then create a mix of 6 blue and brown gems for each merfolk ally. Uses red and yellow, creates blue and brown, so make sure you got a couple of those merfolk allies using blue and brown to make the most of all that lovely mana. The Amber Partisan. Magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by Merlantis allies, then create a mix of 6 blue and green gems for each Merlantis ally. So similar to the last one, but this uses yellow and purple, creates blue and green, but same deal as before. Make sure you got a couple of troops that use blue and green from Merlantis to make the most of the mana. The Trident of Merlantis. Kind of the anti-Merlantis weapon in a way. Remove all blue gems, that's the colour they like the most. Then deal magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by gems removed. And if the enemy is from Merlantis or if the battle is in Merlantis, deal double damage. So it can be effective in the correct situation. Wonder Stars is not in my Soulforge extra video, but it is a absolutely fantastic weapon. Choose one, create 6 elemental stars, bless all allies, or create 7 umbral stars and curse all enemies. Fantastic for the mana gen, fantastic for the cleanse. In fact, it's a super cleanse because you get made basically impervious at the same time with that first option. And great for actually cursing enemies. Takes away all positive traits. If they're submerged, anything like that, it's going to curse them and take that away at the same time. So if you have the resources, just craft the Wand of Stars. The end. Absolutely awesome weapon. What else we got? Doomed Dirk. Deal magic-based damage to the last enemy boosted by blue gems. And if they have a doom, deal double damage. 3% chance per temporary level to kill the enemy. Really not a fan of these kind of weapons. Even on full tempering power, that's still a 1 in 3 chance to kill the enemies. Nah, not great. I don't like them. Not for me, them kind of ones. 3 Graves. Nice explodey summony weapon this. Explode magic +1 blue gems. Grant a random status effect to all Merlantis allies. Then summon a Merlantis troop. Do like them weapons. Very effective. Always good to have a summon in a team a lot of the time. Can be a right annoyance to the opposition in PvP as well. Them kind of weapons. What else we got? Is that it? That is it. Right, let's jump onto the troops then. If you're a newer player, always good to go through these summoning stones to see if there's anybody that you're missing, and then roll the dice and see if you get lucky with picking some of them up. Let's have a quick look through. Nothing too essential so far, but always good. Like I say, if you're missing anybody, just see if you get lucky or not. Right, let's look at the mythics first. And first up is Medusa. Magic +3 true damage to an enemy boosted by stone blocks. Then convert 8 gems of one of their mana colours to stone blocks. So true damage with a boost. The boost is ×5, so that can be significant with a lot of stone blocks on the board. And of course she does convert 8 gems to stone blocks with her spell. And she gains 1 magic for each brown ally, is impervious, and curse and stun a random enemy when matching 4 or more gems. So yeah, it's not great. It can be a decent amount of damage with that mana block conversion, but yeah, not one of my favourites. Don't see her actually very often in teams. Piscea. Now this is more like it. Destroy all green gems, create blue gems equal to the number of green gems destroyed, and then there are 2 independent 30% chances to devour a random enemy. So that is 2 chances, at 1 in 3 in the first place, roughly. So that is really, really good, as well as a chance to do all that mana conversion and basically get a chance to charge up and do it again. Absolutely fantastic troop, really, really effective with the right partners in the team. That can just like wreck through teams really, really quickly. Big fan of Piscea, I like it a lot. Submerge myself when I take damage. You'd have thought it'd be submerged anyway, but hey, never mind. Reduce damage from skulls by 30%. And give 4 attack to all blue allies when matching blue gems. Are not a bad set of traits either. Do like that. Big fish. Vernalis is up next. Not as good as Ulor, his kind of brother. This one gives magic +3 attack to the first 2 allies, the same amount of life to the 2 weakest allies, and give 10 magic to the 2 strongest allies. One of the best things about this kind of troop is that 3rd trait. Entangle and Fairy Fire a random enemy when matching green gems. It's probably the easiest way to get Entangle and Fairy Fire in the game, just by matching green gems. So it's good for that, but yeah, it's just not a great spell. I do prefer Ulor in a massive, massive way rather than him. And who else do we have? We have Suna. Not too bad, not too bad. Stealing magic +3 life from the 2 weakest enemies, then steal 8 magic from the 2 strongest enemies. So basically on subsequent casts, that will actually go up in power every single time, making the damage and the life she gets even more, because stealing life is effectively true damage, but you give it to yourself at the same time, which is really nice. Allied Fae gain 2 life. She's immune to burning and Fairy Fire, and Fairy Fire a random enemy when matching red gems. So you should be looking for red primarily when you try and charge her up, because you're going to get that Fairy Fire effect, which is then going to do that extra damage to the enemy. So that's pretty good. So let's take a look at the legendaries next. Then we'll pick our mythic of the week. So first up is Vidar the Vast. This is a good legendary, this is. Choose an enemy and there's a 10% chance to devour them, boosted by blue gems on the board. Otherwise deal magic +4 damage. The traits are nothing too fantastic, but the cool thing about this is, with a blue heavy team, or a couple of those trolls that do the conversions to blue, I've done it in the team before, you can have 2 of these in the team and get almost guaranteed devours. Really, really good when you got a heavy amount of blue on the team. So I do like a bit of Vidar the Vast against certain opponents. Who's next? Umber Wolf. Deal magic based damage to the first 2 enemies, place Hunter's Mark and Death Mark on them, then transform into a Nosferatu. So the cool thing about these is you can do that damage, and if you get hit a couple of times, when you transform, you kind of come back with all your life and health as a Nosferatu. So interesting troop, and creates Dark Storm at the start of every turn is a decent way of creating plenty of purple at the same time. Garuda, summon a firestorm which is red. Then deal magic based damage to all enemies and gain 1 magic boosted by red gems. Deal double skull damage versus Naga. Is immune to burning and fairy fire, and allied Strix gain 5 life and attack. Used to use it in the early days, not so much anymore, but still a decent damage to all troop overall. Gorgon Guard. Don't think I've ever put this in a serious team. Either deal magic plus 4 damage to an enemy and spend all my gold to boost the damage, or deal the same amount of damage to all enemies and gain gold. So yeah, he scratches his head, he never knows what to do, decisions, but it is what it is. So who is my mythic of the week? Let's take a look at him again. Right, Suna's actually alright, don't mind her. But not in the super uber Carlos Hyperfantango anti-ballistic super range of mythics. Vernalis, good for that enchanted vines, not so great on it. Is okay in certain teams. Depends if you're skull based and things like that, but he's not as good overall as his brother Ulor. Medusa, probably good in certain teams, bit specialist though, but it has to go to Piscea. It's just a absolutely awesome troop. Absolutely fantastic. Destroying green gems with full effect, and then creating blue gems equal to the number of green destroyed means it can self-charge and just do it again. Really, really good. And then, alright, independent, 30% chances to devour a random enemy. You can just literally chomp through the entire team if you get a little bit of luck with that. Absolutely superb stuff. So, Piscea gets my mythic of the week. I'll be back later on with my journey event team and also that holiday event thing at the same time. We'll have a look at that and see what we can do. But there's a video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.